Check, mic check. All right, we are live. Mixing up. Got the different camera today. We're using the mics and everything, man. We out here. Handstands, crazy day Monday. Kate in the house. It's about to go down. Here's a sequence, man. I'll show you what we got going on. We're doing some slow downs. We're doing some pancakes and splits and lunges, getting that flexibility up. We're going to do some hip flexors. We're going to go into some planche tucks, some handstand lean pumps, then some handstands for time, some wrist stretches and flexibility. That is the goal. All right. So we out here. Let me put this thing on. Get you that up close and personal. We're about to get it. Here we go. Might need you to throw this mic on.
Okay.
Can use the magnet. Get better placement than the collar. Yes, sir. We in these streets.
Press the button.
Huh?
I press this button. Is that okay?
Tap it again. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
So the cool thing about this is wherever the camera is, since we have the mics, it'll pick us up.
No way. Wow.
So
the camera's tracking the mics? Or
since they're connected wirelessly here, we could be all the way on the other side of the gym and it'll pick us up clear as day.
wow.
Yeah.
So it's picking up the audio.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So,
I thought maybe the camera was tracking along.
oh, that's step number 2.
Okay.
Because right now I can do this.
Yeah.
But
Face tracking.
yeah. All right, there it goes. I can see you again. That means I need to refresh this then. There it goes. All right. I think we in business now.
Yes.
Getting used to being in that position is no joke. I feel it though. For me in that hand, I don't even have to pump. I just need to lean because it's my wrists. That's why my shoulders keep bending, is because my wrists are not strong enough to carry the load. So instead of me pumping up, I just need to stay there and get used to the weight.
That's good to recognize.
Yeah,
That's gonna help you progress quicker than like.
it's true.
jumping in.
Because it's like, I've always heard people tell me that you should feel like you're gripping the earth
Yeah.
with a handstand. But if the wrists, in my case, because they're not strong enough yet, it never feels like that. It feels like I have to get to the point to where I'm kind of balancing, but it never feels like I'm just locked in like that.
I get that. Yeah, I feel the same way. For these ones on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
I think the more I do handstands, the more I see, okay, this was bad form, this was bad form. And so I'm working on, having my arms close to my ears and being fully extended. But something that I'm working on most now is like the core position.
Yes.
Instead of like hips forward, it's that hollow body. And that's super weird to get used to, but it's actually pulling me off the wall.
Ah.
Hollow body versus like this. And it's like wanting to balance.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about, man. Growth, baby. This is what we do. Strength from the ground up, man. That's what we doing. That's the goal. $40. Not terrible. A little wrist work. Stretch them out, strengthen them up. Hopefully what I wrote makes sense. The hip flexor.
My brain wants to forget those.
I hear you.
It's like, no.
Oh, we don't need that. What's that? We flexing enough already. We're good. Nice. They're not going to recognize us by the time the year comes around.
They're gonna say, "Is that Corey?" And it's gonna be me.
They'll be like, who's doing all here? Who's out here getting these splits? What?
They're gonna say, "Is the Rock Johnson?"
Oh, new groove.
How big do you think he is? He can't be that much bigger than you, right?
Shoot, he's like what? 6'1", 6'2", maybe 6'4",
How tall are you?
5'11".
Okay.
Boo.
I'm a short man.
Short kings.
I say I'm 5'8". I measured. It was 5'7 3/4". And I feel like that's
Round up, man.
okay to round up at 3/4.
I think so.
And it was barefoot measurement.
Okay.
I think you do this 5.5. I could still round up, but I'd have a harder time whirling. Like, am I lying right now?
3/4 is good. That's good. I like that. Because, I mean, more often than not, when people ask you, you're going to be wearing shoes anyway.
True.
So the roundup makes sense in that case. Oh, there it is. Ah. Yeah. That QL.
Getting a good shot of my feet right here. Don't go selling these, man.
This is what we do. Exposed.
Oh.
Hey, thanks for coming in on the stream. I see you. Somebody said, here comes the gay duo.
Gay means happy.
Clearly someone's never stretched before. If you think that's what's going on, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, man. That stuff to me is always hilarious because it's like, it's interesting because I was watching a video the other day about people getting online and talking about you expose yourself to the positive and the negative when it comes to being online. So that's a risk you have to take. And it's like, okay, cool. But I think it's funny where a lot of the negative stuff comes from. Because where would it come from? Because if we're being real, if there's people out there who's trying to learn gymnastics or who are trying to learn how to stretch, they're not bringing that kind of energy.
That's true. That's true. It's positive or periods.
Right. Or they're looking at it as a learning thing, which is what it is. So, and I think the real shame is you never know what's behind why people say the things that they do. But if somebody thinks that stretching is gay, then, you know, I can't see somebody, so I can't judge anybody. But I know what it feels like to not embrace flexibility. And I would say, since we out here, I would say in a physical sense, but also in a mental sense. So that I find, it's like, hey man, be open to something different.
Be some sort of fear or insecurity or something like that.
Yeah.
Not embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Be curious about it.
But yeah, you definitely don't have to worry about that. My man's got a girlfriend. They've been dating for a good minute now.
It's true. I do like ladies. Specifically one in a romantic way.
We keep it simple, man.
We do. Try to go by God's rules. So.
That it doesn't get any more simple than that.
I'm about the simple life.
Haters gonna hate, but you know, to each their own.
Make as much fun of me as you want, but my goal is heterosexual, monogamous.
That is very fruitful and multiplicitous
Multiplicity.
in product.
That's the goal.
Yeah, this is the third rep? No, this is second. No, this is third rep.
Third round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already feeling good settling into here.
Yeah. I had a much deeper stretch. You don't got to worry about Corey. He's a pure man.
That's right.
He's by the book, the man of the book, the man of God. He's had girlfriends, but never more than one at the same time.
Uh-oh.
As much as the ladies, you know.
They try. They try. One at a time. It's best. It's better that way. I promise you.
Yeah. All about equality up in here.
There's no 50-50. You give all. Otherwise, are you really giving anything at all? Hey, I'm just saying. There is no try. All right, what are we to? Skipped flexors again.
Oh!
It just happened so naturally. Whoops. Ah.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yep.
Oh, cramped up there. For the last rep, I tried to just hold it.
Woo!
Almost an instant cramp.
That core work, bro. Dang.
Wow. This is gonna help though with our handstand. What is it called?
The pressing?
Press up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's to get this flexibility a lot closer.
Exactly.
Because Hannah does that, and she just is so quickly able to stack her hips right over her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have to use hardly any strength for going up. It's just all balance because her hips are already over her shoulders. So,
That's the thing, man.
yeah.
The flexibility. I'm gonna open this up a little bit. Let's see. Can I do that? If I change it in the middle, does it work? Did I break the system? I was gonna say that stretch is actually the one I got from Hannah. Yeah, she's the one who told me to do that one, the hip flexor one. I wanted to avoid it for the longest time, but I could not. Hey man, in the lab. I don't want to do that. Okay. He said I level it up.
I can do a big arm straddle planche, but I gotta get the straight arm.
That's straight arm. We gonna get it, man. Workouts like this twice a week. I'm already feeling so much more strength through my shoulders. I'm saying.
I think you're lifting a bit higher than I'm lifting. I'm trying to get that.
Okay.
Trying to get it that you're.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, my hips are.
High.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to lean forward more.
A little low.
I like it though.
Yeah.
Practice, man.
Needs more of these.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
A little bit a day. Okay. All right, that one I don't like, but I just need to lean and embrace. Yes. I did that this rep here. That was good. I like that. I like it. I like it. I can still open up more. Shoot. Yes. Handstand for time. Woo! It's a fight. Round 40. I'll take it. Three sets in.
This is awesome. Sir.
I'm feeling, man. All right. This is 3. I'm trying to do 7 more of these. I might just be crazy. This is wild.
It's still going. I mean, we are talking in between, to be fair, but
And it will speed up too because we're just going to get weaker.
that's true.
But that's when the mind is going to be more recruited than just the muscle. So I like it. Round 4.
I'm gonna get 2 lightning rounds before I can go.
All right.
So, because it's almost 7, but I feel like 4 rounds sounds wimpy. I feel like 5 rounds.
5 is solid.
You know, so
I might stop after 5 too. Sure.
okay.
Usually I do 4, but I've never done the circuit like all the way like this. So 10 I threw out there, but 5 might be the actual perfect number.
Okay.
Because it's like, I don't know, and this is the other thing I have to get some tests with it, without having a dedicated handstand workout before, at least not for the last several years. It's like, am I throwing something out there that's going to take 2 hours to do?
You just don't know it. This time.
And I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And it's like, I'm timing this joint, and we're at 47 minutes right now.
Wow. Okay.
So with all the work, I'm sweating a ton.
We could do 10 rounds. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's just are you gonna be here for 2.5 hours? You know.
Right.
Sometimes it's fine. Yeah.
I'll see where it is at 5. Because the other thing too is what they would always tell us is try to get 5 minutes worth of handstands a day. So we're demolishing that by doing 5 rounds of this.
That's true. Yeah.
So 5 might be.
Might be inspiring.
Yeah. We'll see how long it is after the 5th set, and then I'll know. I'll have an idea. Because if it's like an hour 15, I ain't trying to be here for 2.5 hours, man.
Probably if we really wanted to kill ourselves, we do 7, we do 10 rounds.
Nope. But it's good stuff though, man. I'm enjoying it. Oh yeah. I like that. A gymnast's workout. That's what exactly. Even more so than a calisthenics workout, like a gymnast workout. I'm feeling the strength so much more in this position here. I'm liking it. Pancake. I actually liked it here. It almost felt like you could get closer and pull harder.
I agree.
As opposed to not having someone on your back.
Yeah. I like this better also because, well, first off, if you don't have a partner here, this is doable.
Mm-hmm.
And then second off, like I said, if I go too hard on the pancake stretch, my knee starts to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And so this keeps me in control rather than someone pushing on my back or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels much more like I know where that point is.
Yes.
That I should get to.
The control. That's good stuff, man. I'm gonna get these flexors here first, right now. Whew. You know what else I just thought? If working out is gay, what does that say about the state of the modern man?
Oh, that's a big social commentary right there. I feel like there's a lot of things in our culture that are trying to, not in a bad sense of the word, but feminize men. Because I love femininity,
Mm-hmm.
but it has its place.
Yes.
Masculinity has its place.
Yes.
And someone could say, you know, there's also a toxic masculinity where it's like never cry in your whole life.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous too. But yeah, it's people talk about that cycle where you know, hard times create hard men.
Uh-huh.
Hard men create
Easy times.
and then easy times create easy men.
Mm-hmm.
So create hard times. So I feel like I see a lot of that in our culture.
Yeah.
We need to continue to define what true masculinity is.
Yeah.
Like strength, vulnerability has its place.
Mm-hmm.
Masculinity, being honest and true to yourself and to others. But yeah, stretching does not fall in the gay category.
No. Who was that said that? Ta Owl? Thanks for the conversation starter, Ta Owl.
Great. Get some philosophy
Right.
workout videos. Yeah. What do you think about that reflection?
I agree. I think there's toxic femininity and masculinity. There's good and healthy of both as well. And I do think that society today is really aggressive in its attacks on man.
Totally.
If I take something like movies or film, TV, what do we see happening to the masculine man? A commentary. These two things I've seen recently are in direct contrast. So Marvel just released a new series called Ironheart, and I tried to watch the first episode. I couldn't get through it, man. There was just too much. Like, I understand diversity, equity. The main character in the show is a young black girl, but it's like what they were trying to do was just throw so much of it at you in terms of all, like, everything across the entire spectrum. It was just like, what am I watching here? And then I have the question, did you put this here because it's meaningful to the story? Or is this just here because you're trying to make a statement?
Yeah.
And any show or movie that I see like that, it's like I'm out on. Now, by contrast, and I say all of that because I don't know that there was a strong actual male character in that show. The one guy, I watched a review to summarize the rest of it so I wouldn't have to watch it because I couldn't. And the one guy that I thought was kind of cool in the beginning ended up dying in the next episode. They killed him off. So it's like, I didn't miss much. And so it's like, yeah, I don't know what the point of this is. Now, I just mentioned that I'd gone to see F1. F1 did have elements of diversity in it. For example, you had a woman as the head engineer for the racing team, which I don't know how common that is, but it's something. You had a black man who was the head of the pit crew.
Okay.
You had a Hispanic man who was the owner for the team, and you had a young black guy who was one of the drivers, and you had an older white guy who was one of the drivers. But even though some of the quote unquote tropes were there, none of it felt forced or overdone, and everything made sense. Like, it's one thing if the black guy is the leader of the pit crew and everybody's making statements on it, but there was nothing. It was just, that's the guy who's in this role, keep it pushing. There was maybe one the movie was 2.5 hours. There was one comment from the younger black driver that was like, man, I've given up so much to get here, but that was it. They didn't stay on that or anything. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense. You know, for a lot of people in that situation, they do give up a lot to get there. So he's saying that from not just because I'm black, but from multiple perspectives and based on the reality of the sport. For the older white guy, it was Brad Pitt. It wasn't like, oh, this guy's gonna end up being a douche or some kind of whack. Like, he had his moments, but the moments fit the character. It wasn't overdone, and it was like what you'd expect from a man in his situation based on the story. So, and the woman, it was cool because they did have an arc that was saying a lot of people doubted her and she was in the position, but they didn't overhype it up, and she wasn't like trying to girl boss or whatever. She was doing her job and doing it well. And it was written well to show that. And they brought the arc around to give her credit for it at the end. Like, it paid off everything for her story because they ended up winning based on her adjustment for the team. So it's like, something like that, you left the theater with a good feeling. Like, this was a cool story. And even though you saw all these different elements that echoed to this larger narrative that's out there, it wasn't throwing it in your face and saying, hey, we're doing this because of that. Whereas to me, Ironheart was. So, all of that to say that it's very refreshing when we see a story that's good for goodness sake, Like it's just a good story where people can be in their roles and be challenged and even be in uncomfortable roles, but still excel. But I think society today makes it really hard to look at something like that and say, oh, that's not diverse enough, or you didn't tell the story enough.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And it's like that may not necessarily be everybody's experience, and there's a time and a place for it, but I also don't agree with shoving it down everyone's throats just because they may not be aware.
Yeah.
I don't know. Plants tux. What do you think?
Audience or me? Hey, viewers.
Viewers too. We see you out here. But yeah, what do you think in response to my response?
You know, I didn't find any points of disagreement. I really, I've seen like the media over the past decade or so really caring about going to agendas, whether that's good or bad, about gender and race.
Mm.
And I think that some of that stuff should be highlighted probably so that we can learn, let's try to learn about each other's gender and race. Let's try to understand each other better. But it's just so many ways where it comes across forceful
Yes.
that it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's anything. Like, first off, something might be good or bad in the first place.
Uh-huh.
But even if something's good in the first place, if it's forced, it becomes bad.
Yep.
Because things just need to come by respect and freedom and force. Like, let me tell you what I think.
Yes.
So,
Exactly.
I don't know who is necessarily controlling, besides, our appeal to spiritual powers and spiritual beings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know who is pushing an agenda. Like, why is our society so focused right now on making sure people accept differences and learn about differences and things like that? So I think education is great, and that's how we can empathize more with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really just like, it's different whenever you can listen to each other and respectfully disagree.
Yeah.
Rather than an attitude of like, listen to me and tell me I'm right and you have to.
Yeah. It's fascinating, man. I don't get it. And even this aspect of manhood and just the idea of man being under attack. A lot of people these days, they have the red pill movement, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where they're talking about, for men, your primary goal is to increase your sexual market value by sleeping around with as many women as possible. And then you're supposed to do that to know who to marry. But then when you marry, you're supposed to find a virgin. And it's like, wait a second, what did we just do to the woman in all of this?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to say high body count, but then I'm going to look for a woman who doesn't have any.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It's really
Yes, sir.
selfish and rude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's totally, it's making the woman like an item.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what are you even trying to get married for?
Yeah.
So most of these people end up proving themselves to be hypocritical.
Yeah. And then the other side of that is like, you're like, okay, wait, no, let's look at women in a more respectful manner and as equals and things like that. And then there's like the flip side of that where it's like, no, let's put women above men and let's put certain races above other races.
Right.
And the goal should be, let's all be equal with each other. But it feels like, no, like agree that this gender is better, or agree that, like, for us to be more feminine, we have to take away your masculinity.
Right. Instead of raising other people up, we have to tear everybody down. Yeah.
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all. Let's see. Harold in the building.
Let's see. Is it handstand?
Handstands.
Okay.
For round 4.
Okay.
Harold, you got here right as we get into the last round. But I mean, you're a coach, so you can stay as long as you want anyway. That's what I'm talking about.
Tomorrow I have appointments, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey wrote it up actually.
The handstand workout and stretching. Handstands and stretching.
I don't know if you understand all of it,
Trying to build it up, man. We trying to come back ready to rival Shane
yes.
by the end of this, by the beginning of the summer, end of the summer.
Come on, brother.
Hey,
Come on.
out here just getting it. Ah.
Wow.
Roll out. 40 seconds. I'll take that.
10 rounds, you say?
One more round.
I'll let Harold join you. I should leave on this. Right now. I should respect time a little bit.
Fair enough.
Got some other plans to get to.
All right.
Yeah, man. What a wonderful time.
Indeed.
Bringing it along.
For sure, man. Of course.
Tomorrow, same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be some handstand stuff, and then Tuesday bench.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. This is a crazy workout. Where's all the... You guys, it was really fun. See you back here tomorrow. Keep working out on your own. You know, keep grinding. And follow, like, and subscribe to School Guy. And thank you for being good viewers. And thank you for inspiring conversation. So stay positive out there.
That's what's up.
All right. Harold wants the mic?
Harold, you trying to get mic'd up? Trying to get mic'd up? We on the live stream right now. You don't have to.
Why? She's gonna be a lot of.
Up to you, man. We just out here shooting the breeze, man. Trust, it's the same on our end too, between all these handstands and stuff. But yeah, do what you do. We might have to get Harold's take on toxic masculinity and femininity now. Look at the eyes, look at the eyes. Yeah, do your thing, man. We out here. We got Harold in the mix. I got one more round. We're about an hour and 10 minutes in so far. Making good progress. I'm gonna get another slow down. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get for round 5. Let's go. That was a good rep. Felt like I rotated over my shoulders that time. Straddle action. It is getting better. It's getting deeper there too. That's good. All right, hip flexors, pancakes, back at it. What happened? Yes, sir. Yes. Harold's the man. He knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. That lower back, golden. Back to the QLs. Starting to feel this stretch a little bit more too, which is good. It's warming up. All right, back to the lunges. And the hip flexors, I keep forgetting those. Split. This left split is a lot better than it was when I started today. But that's the art of it. Switch it up. And I got to remember those hip flexors, man. Those joints. Painful. but they must be done to achieve the goal. Split. All right. Hip flexors. I didn't forget. I'm trying to, but I didn't. Excuse me. All right. Planche tuck. We in the home stretch. All right. Handstand leans. This one, this is why I say I need to lose some weight. This one is where you feel all the pressure just right through your wrists. So I have to get comfortable there and just getting all my weight onto my hands, because to develop the strength to press is one thing, but it starts from your wrists. If my wrist can't support the weight, I'll never get comfortable in the position to be able to press. And this one, I think maybe out of all these exercises in this workout, is probably the most humbling of all. Because it's just like, man, I don't have it. I can't do it yet. But this is why we practice. Such a simple move, but you pay the price. All right, handstands for time. Let's go. That's a good question. That is a good question. Because we had like a good 8 or 9 of them up in here. Did you look in these boxes? Let's check in there. Yeah, I don't know where else they would be. Nothing here. Let's go. Yes, sir. Oh. Getting on that core work. This is the way. Oh, set the timer. Lockout. Bad form. Whew. What's up? Welcome back. What's up, Rashawn Shepard, Desia Brooke? We out here. You know what time it is? Putting in that work as always. Little wrist activity. Dorsal. Some knuckle push-ups. Crack those joints. Fingertip push-ups. Strengthen up them forearms. Yep, I feel that. Wrist rockers. Inch by inch and step by step. This is what we do. We'll go one more slow down. Five sets through this is an hour and 20 minutes, which is plenty for a good workout. I'm gonna go one more slow down. Maybe a couple more slow downs and call it a day from there. Hydrate or dihydrate. There's one. Still need to get my hips out over my hands more. That's the scary part, but it means I got to get closer to the wall. All right, let's do this. That's a little closer. Just a touch. Here we go. That's better. You can't really balance on the way down if your weight's not over your hands. That's the scary part, but that's where the growth is. You got to do what it takes. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the same place. All right, we're going to set up now to do just a little tumbling. We loose, we out here. It must be done. So we're going to set this thing up on the tumble track. Get a few rounds and some back tucks in. You're going to lose the mic for this one. Super slide. All right, y'all, that's a wrap. We done for today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe. See us tomorrow. We'll be back chest day. We put in work all summer long. Let's go. All right, till then, peace.